Yep, we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started today, and this is my daily podcast, man. I'm doing video, and I'm doing audio, and I'm doing post, and we're talking about top 25 mistakes in route to the good life. Now, this is my first edition, and as I tell everybody, this one is for the trash. It's for the trash, right? I'm going to burn this one and send it up in flames because the second one coming out is so much more than this first version, right? Somebody told me in advertising a long time ago, you have to learn how to kill your babies, right? Your first creations. And so that is what I'm doing, guys. And I am about to start my podcast and get going today. So um, I'm about to go into my introduction. And when I go into my introduction, I want you guys to just go ahead and just listen to me, check me out, and I'll try to connect with the camera as well, so that we can get the most out of this video and podcast. So we're doing them both live at the same time, okay? What's up, gang? How you guys doing? It is Lieutenant Sal Blue, 28-year law enforcement veteran and the author of the top 25 mistakes en route to the good life, first and now second edition, right? As well as Audible. That's right, we are live on Audible, guys. Can you believe it? I actually sat there and in my truck, mostly, sometimes in my basement, early in the morning, some crazy times, recorded my first Audible book. Recorded in my own voice, didn't have anybody else do it. I did it myself, guys, and I'm excited about it. And I want you guys to hop on over, purchase my first audio book, okay, on Audible, and get excited about it, man. Get excited about it because I'm excited about it because I am here to change lives, man. I'm here to change lives because I guess that is what I truly was meant to do my entire life. You know how when you go through life and you understand that you have a mission in life, but you fight against it your whole life. You fight against it your whole life, so your entire life you live with friction, right? You live your entire life with friction because you are fighting against your natural flow. My natural flow in life is to give value, right? To learn something and teach somebody else. To learn something and teach somebody else. And that is what I need to be doing with my life in order to have true fulfillment in everything that I do. So, in doing so, guys, I just want you guys to know that number one, I thank you for your support, man. You guys reached out to me on Facebook. I'm giving out 1,000 free copies of my book, guys. 1,000 free copies of my book. Just DM me your name and your address, and I'm shipping it to you. I'm shipping it to you. All I ask for you in return is shoot me your email address as well, and show me some support on the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Just show me some support as I send out my free copies to 1,000 of you guys, right? My goal this year, right, is to reach 1,851,851 people from now, right, from July till December. So that is my goal. It is a lofty goal. I 10x'd it, from 185,000 and 10x that to 1 million. So let's go for it, man. We are going for it today, and I'm excited to bring you guys my daily podcast. So, and starting off my podcast today, what my podcast is about, guys, is something I heard somebody say, and it was in a mentorship course that I'm a part of, and a paid mentorship course that I'm a part of, and what they said was this, and they said the difference between the people who make it and the people who don't is the lack of comprehension. So I want to base my today's podcast on a little bit of that, the lack of comprehension. Um, I talked about it a little bit in my book when I talked about, the already I already know that guy, right? You know, the guy who, when you're trying to give him some information, some information that you feel through your experience is important, and you try to give it to this person, they turn around and they say, "Oh yeah, yeah, I already knew that," you know, and it's a huge gap, right? A huge gap between implementation and knowing, right? Just like I tell people all the time, it's a huge gap between having a degree, master's, doctorate, it doesn't even matter what degree you have. It's a huge gap between having a degree and implementing those skills in the real world in real time. More so under stress in real time, right? So you guys have to understand that it is a difference between knowledge and implementation. And you have to begin to create that gap. You have to begin to understand what it takes to create the life that you want within that gap. So I just adjusted my camera a little bit over here, guys, on the podcast. Just to let you guys know, I'm uh, I'm live on YouTube at my top 25 mistakes channel, so I'm doing it live right now as we speak. But also, it's the difference between implementation and knowledge, and this is where I'm here to bridge that gap for you guys. You know, because my biggest thing for me is to learn, to do, and to teach. So yesterday I began my journey toward creating a couple of things. I'm creating a new product, my top 25 mistakes mentor questions. And those are the questions that move me forward in life and stop me from being stagnant. And those questions are accumulation of questions over my 28-year law enforcement career. And I'm not going to be able to give you all of them in a book because I'm just trying to get out just a brief little quick like a little pamphlet, quiz, PDF, however I want to do it, a little small ebook, just to get you guys wet your whistles on what I'm going to be coaching and teaching about. But but these things are important, right? These things are important and are critical things that will help you to move your life forward. So, in saying so, guys, I just want to get into my next question. Yesterday, my question was, it really went deep, guys. I really went deep on my question, and that question was, Lieutenant Sal Blue, why do you do what you do? And I gave you guys my backstory, man. I gave you guys my backstory, and you guys know, if you guys have listened to me, or you understand, or you read my books, or any of my material, you know that the reason why I do what I do is because I not only believe that you shouldn't be leaving anybody behind, I've actually experienced the pain of leaving people behind and watching how I can never reconcile that because their life is over. And not only is their life over, they took the life of another innocent individual because I left them behind. And that is hard to do, guys. That is hard to do. And a hard thing to get back, you know. A very rough way. I can never forgive myself for doing that, for listening to bad advice. One of the worst advices to have is bad advice, man. And you know, you weigh it against the pros and the cons of the consequences of things that you deal with, and you think to yourself, man, you know, is it worth me following this advice? I know it's bad advice, and mostly in law enforcement, you go, I know it's an order, and I know it may cause me to get written up, or I know it may cause me to lose my job, but is it worth it? Is that person's life worth me following this order? And, you know, I couldn't have predicted what happened, but, guys, realize this. Eventually, when you follow enough bad advice, bad things are going to come your way. Bad things are going to come your way because bad advice accumulates, man. It accumulates over time, and it ends up in you sending you down a path to the bad life. That's all it is, because it just changes your direction. It changes your thought patterns. It changes what you think about each and every day. So I just want you guys to realize that you need to be very discriminatory when it comes to taking people's advice, right? Not only when it comes to taking people's advice, but also I talked about this today. Today I had a busy day of dental appointments, chiropractors, and massage therapists today. You know, and I talked to one of the dental assistants today, and they were talking about um, how when I told her about my book and how my book is more so about transparency than anything else, she went ahead and said, people don't really want to do that. People are like more posers. And I told her I know that. I know people are posers. A lot of people on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and everything, they want to show everybody this extravagant lifestyle, which gives people a false notion of what it takes to succeed. I want to give people the real deal of what it takes to succeed. The hard work, the daily progress of succeeding at all levels. And I get it. Uh, uh, a year from now, 5 years from now, people are going to be looking at my podcast and my videos daily, and they're going to say that I have it easy. I get it. I get it. But all of the people who are starting on this journey right now, I want you guys to know the work that it takes to create the life that you want. You know, I'm saying this now, and I'm in my 50s, right? I'm in my 50s. I'm retired from a career. I collect a pension, and I could be doing what all my other law enforcement buddies are doing, hanging out at their shore houses, fishing on the beach, you know, drinking and giving zero value to anybody that's still in the trenches. And I could never see myself doing that. I saw myself as a different person. I saw myself as an individual who um, learned from my circumstances and my experiences, and to not leave anybody behind. So that is what I'm geared up to doing. I am geared up to not leaving anybody behind and constantly sharing my message of my top 25 mistakes. I have 3 more books coming out on top 25 mistakes. And I just want you guys to understand that um, I began this journey, right? And I wrote out like all of the mistakes basically that I made. And I started writing about them and adding stories to them and just talking about them so that you guys could learn more and understand more of what I'm talking about when it comes to top 25 mistakes. And they're in no order. They're in no order. The truth is that if you make all 25 mistakes, you are definitely going to have a bad life. And some of these mistakes, if you make 1 or 2 continuously, you are definitely going to have a bad life. It's just things that you don't want to do in your life. And so it is my advice to you, as I tell people, heed the advice of somebody who has already gone through the pain. I'm not telling you to heed the advice of somebody giving you advice. I'm telling you to heed the advice of someone who has already gone through the pain, right? I experienced pain in these mistakes. So when I give you my top 25 mistakes, it is the pain that I felt in my life that, oh my God, it was horrible. So I can't truly express that in words in my book of how I felt, because you guys don't know me personally. But as you get to know me personally, you will know that it's been many days that I've been filled with tears because of a mistake that I made. And only time was able to heal that pain and heal those wounds. I have had to walk away from relationships